Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So here's a topic that I don't think we've talked about yet on this channel, food. And because it's my channel, more specifically, food in space. Because one of our major hurdles in going to Mars is how the heck are we going to eat on the regular in space? Especially if we are planning on going further and further away from Earth. And a recent project launched by ESA is aiming to tackle this problem in a unique way. To be sure. So buckle up as we talk about food in space, how different agencies are doing it now, and how we may be doing it in the future. So in terms of how we handle food in space right now, basically it's what you think it is. Food is produced on Earth and then transported to the ISS for the eating. And we certainly dabbled with growing some stuff on ISS, but the essential diet of all astronauts comes directly from Earth. And while this is feasible for missions in low Earth orbit, it becomes decidedly less feasible and potentially much more costly when we talk about traveling to distant destinations. So ESA recently announced the launch of a new project to tackle this very real problem. The project, dubbed HOBI-WAN, which I absolutely love, stands for Hydrogen Oxidizing Bacteria in Weightlessness as a Source of Nutrition. And it is part of the Terra Nova Exploration Program, which aims to test a new powdered protein called Solein, which can be manufactured in space with very few resources. Angelique van Ombargen, ESA's chief exploration scientist, said in a statement, "This project aims at developing a key resource which will allow us to improve human spaceflight's autonomy, resilience, and also the well-being of our astronauts. For human beings to be able to implement long-duration missions on the moon, or even one day to go to Mars, will require innovative and sustainable solutions to be able to survive with limited supplies." And they think that this Solein could be one such solution. It is apparently a highly versatile powdered protein from a Finnish food technology company called Solar Foods that's made from microbes, air, and electricity via a gas fermentation process. And Solar Foods has their own YouTube channel, which gives a lot more detail on how exactly this process works in a series of videos. And I have to say, after watching a few of their videos, I am a combination of intrigued and I have questions. And they definitely push hard this narrative of creating protein out of thin air. So while Solar Foods has demonstrated this technology here on Earth, slightly different techniques will be needed in space. There are going to have to be some changes in the process, and this is where it gets interesting. So on Earth, ammonia serves as the nitrogen source for protein synthesis. But in space, the source would have to be urea, an organic compound found in urine. And that would come from the astronauts. Yeah. So over the next 8 months, Solar Foods will work with a prime contractor on the ground who develop and maintain scientific payloads for ISS to develop the technology necessary to test Solein production in space. Artu Lukanen, Senior Vice President of Space and Defense at Solar Foods, said, "The aim of the project is to confirm that our organism grows in the space environment as it does on the ground, and to develop the fundamentals of gas fermentation technology to be used in space, something that has never been done before in the history of mankind." He added, "The behavior of liquids and gases in microgravity is vastly different due to the lack of buoyancy, which drastically affects the transport of nutrients and gases for the Solein microbes." Jürgen Kempf, HOBI-WAN project manager, said, "We are exploring how to sustainably support human life in space. The insights we gain here could help address global challenges on Earth, such as resource scarcity and food security. We are proud to contribute our expertise to a project that connects space innovation with planetary sustainability." And right about the time where I'm reading all this about Solein, I came across an article about how China's Tiangong space station recently installed a new oven onto the station, and the astronauts enjoyed their very first barbecue chicken wings. I am not lying. In a video released by the Astronaut Center of China, or ACC, the space station crew is seen securing a set of chicken wings in a specially made grill cage and placing it in a small cabinet-like compartment in the space station's wall. Several minutes later, out comes the chicken wings for the 6 astronauts to enjoy. And I gotta say, they look pretty good. Now, this oven is really more of a microgravity microwave that kind of functions more like an air fryer, but it is a very different way of eating than we are used to seeing from astronauts. Kang Guohua, a senior member of the Chinese Society of Astronautics, told Chinese state media that comforts such as hot meals are important to keep crews psychologically grounded. And according to the ACC, the oven operates without stressing the power grid and is designed to provide consistent and smokeless baking conditions in the station's microgravity environment. And obviously, such conditions on space stations are necessary, which rely on strictly maintained life support systems and rigorous fire safety protocols. And not only is making protein out of thin air different in microgravity, but so is cooking. The chicken wings needed about half an hour inside their enclosed grill container. And apparently some peppered steak was also later prepared, which I don't know why this makes me laugh. I think it's just because we're like over here making protein out of thin air with our own urine, and the Chinese are like, well, we're just gonna be barbecuing, so. And while I don't know if we have ever done chicken wings in space, I know that we have done cookies. In 2019, NASA astronauts baked cookies in space using a prototype 0G oven. That test showed that baking things in orbit, as well as cooking chicken, does take longer than it does on Earth. But China's oven, unlike the temporary 0G oven at the ISS, is there to stay. The device has been integrated into Tiangong systems, and it is certified for up to 500 uses, which I have zero doubt it will get. So I will keep you updated on the status of the HOBI-WAN Solein food project. It's just fun to say. And I will keep you updated if there are any developments. So what do you guys think? I mean, I see the need for something like Solein. I do. I get it. I have questions about the nutrition value of this protein source and its effects on human beings over time, but I'm sure all of that is in the testing to come. I probably should not find it funny that China's over here installing a barbecue while we're doing this, but it's a little funny. But again, I am glad that someone is forward thinking about solving this problem now while we have the development time rather than later. So who here is ready to try Solein, you guys? No, scratch that. Who is ready to try space Solein? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, that's it for now, guys. Whew, oh, my mouth, my cheeks hurt. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as always, I will see you in the next video.